about the individual sized butters and a container to hold them. When you get them, you have a place to put them. And they work very simply by pulling out one at a time. Just like that. But more importantly, it's a video about showing how to work with plexiglass, which is really a different animal from wood, and what you could do with it. So this will be a simple video on that, talking about the blade, how to cut it, and you'll see that how it's done. Plexiglass is a brand name, but actually what it is acrylics, acrylic plastics. And this happens to be a hard acrylic plastic, and you usually find them when they're in papered like this. If they come with the plastic on it, then that's another type of plastic, which is a softer plastic, which is methylene dichloride. This is ethylene dichloride, which is harder. It cuts better. And when you cut this, you want to use a blade, not like a woodworking blade, but a blade that is a triple chip ground blade, flat on one of the sides, and the others follow through. If you examine the blade, you'll see that there is no real set on it. When you have a set on it, it will grab the size of the plexiglass and start to chip it. So we're going to cut some of this, and you'll see the action in it. I don't like to follow through with a cut on this. Any melting or anything, this could be a kickback. Saws are really dangerous, and people who don't use push blocks are just waiting for an accident, or push sticks are waiting for an accident to happen. And it always happens if it jams on the back of this blade, and especially if this fence is not just perfectly set. And when you lock it, it's exactly parallel. So we're going to cut some of this. We're going to start with the first pieces that are this piece here, and this will be the spaces for those little butters that go in there. So that's what we're looking for, that there'll be a space that just fits perfectly in there. So that's the next step that we're going to do. Alright. So the first piece that we're going to cut will be 1 1/8. So I've made a spacer for that. Which is a template. And now I'm going to set the saw to that. Make sure I got it just right. That is a little too tight. No, that's just right. Okay, so we're going to cut the first piece. And use double eye protection. Sometimes plexiglass throws little shards out, and it can hit you in the face or the eye. So there's double protection. Because of this odd piece, I'm only going to cut halfway through. If you set this through, it could kick it back at you. When you stop it, don't move it. If the blade hits it, it will crack the plastic. This is a 62 blade in here. Should be a cut like that. So I'm going to cut a few of these extras since I already have it set up. Try to clean the dust out. Make sure you have sure footing. Don't slip. Keep your fingers away from the blade. I've been making changes to my machines. The switch is on the wrong side on this machine. So if you see me reaching over there, you're not supposed to do that. Next two pieces are the side pieces. And they're going to measure 2 3/8 wide. So we have to set the saw for that. And I have a block for measuring to do that. So it's preset. This particular plastic happens to be Chemcast. Sometimes I spray stuff on it, so that's what you're seeing. It comes papered like this. The paper actually prevents it from, when it starts to melt, it helps it not bind. The danger when you're cutting plexiglass is the way it's pushing back at you, lifting. That's why I would never put my hands there. If you had to, you use a push block. Alright, you can cut that. I'll just cut these. The piece that I need here that makes the space for the butter is the piece that was cut on the sides and the front, but now I need to cut it for the length inside. So I'll do that on the radial arm saw using a cymbal blade. These small pieces, it's safer to do it on the radial arm saw. So I've made a spacer block that fits that. That's slightly larger than the butter. And I'm going to set up a stop. And I'm going to put this on the edge of the tooth to get me that exact size that I need. Never keep your hand in front of this area. This is one of the most dangerous tools. Do not not fool with this thing. Don't play games with it. So there's the spacer block. I'm going to put it here. It cuts differently in plexiglass from the wood on here. Make sure you get it tight against the fence and go slow with the proper blade, again, like what's on the table saw. The next measurement will be 6 3/4 inch, which I've already set up, and I'm going to need 4 pieces, the 2 sides and these 2 sides. Next step, the pieces that we cut that are inside here are now going to be solvent bonded to the edge. Now I'm going to solvent bond it together by capillary action. We'll melt the 2 pieces right together. I need to put this little piece in here. That's this piece I'm going to solvent bond in here. That's the ledge where the butter sits. And I'm going to use this as the space to keep it the same size all the way through. Now holding this here and gluing in this part and taking the back part now and putting it inside like this. And holding it tight so it doesn't move. Make sure it's at the edge is fine here. And then just solvent bond that right through. And that's it. And now gluing the opposite side. And I'll travel right through there. The next operation is to make this little mouth here where the butter will come out. So we need to drill a hole here, making it round, and the rest will just bandsaw right out. So we'll drill the hole now. Now we'll be drilling the hole. Don't force it, use even pressure and hold on tight. Now to the bandsaw. Now I'm going to clean the mouth of this out using the strip sander and round it off. Using a 1/8 inch round over bit to get this effect on here. Don't try this with a larger bit, especially when you're coming back, it could grab on you. This part is the base, which will measure 2 3/4 by 2 inches, 1/2 inch thick. I'm not cutting this on the table saw unless you use another blade that would allow the plastic not to build up in the gullets of the saw. It'll be safer to cut this on the radial arm saw. I'm going to cut this piece now. Make sure you got a good hold on it, get your fingers out of the way, and go very slowly because it's thick and it'll start to bind. Now the next part is 2 3/4. Don't forget yourself and don't make sure the blade is stopped. Oh, something's behind this. Something's going on here. Wait a minute. Stir it up in there. Last operation is to buff the edges to make it just look nicer. And the last part is gluing the base to the main part. And we're done. Here's the first one and the revised one, and that's how it works. And there you go. Pull out your butter and stack as many as you want.